Welcome to Valletta, the tiny capital city of Malta. Your tour starts at the city gate, the entrance of the city, which was completely rebuilt in 2014. Its unconventional design aroused a bit of controversy at the time. Its critics argued that the gate does not conform to the city's architectural style. The Republic Street stretches from the city gate to Fort St. Elmo on the seaward shore, dividing the UNESCO World Heritage Site in half. It is lined with shops and cafes, which welcome every shopaholic seeking refuge from the sun. This impressive cathedral with two bell towers was built in the 16th century by Malta's rulers, the Knights Hospitaller, also known as Order of St. John. Although its exterior is rather simple, the interior is lavishly decorated and boasts magnificent art, one of Europe's finest in high Baroque style. The Courts of Justice building is so huge that it covers an entire city block. The courthouse was built between 1965 and 1971 in neoclassical style and replaced the original courthouse, which was demolished during World War II. Valletta boasts more than 300 historic buildings on the area of 198 acres, such as the National Library of Malta, which stands on one of the most photographed squares in the city, the Republic Square. It's also home to open-air cafes and a statue of Queen Victoria, which is why the place is more commonly known as Queen Square. St. George's Square is the main square of Valletta. The building in front of you is the main guard, currently the office of the Attorney General, originally a guardhouse. It faces the palace of the Grand Master of the Order of St. John, who ruled Malta. It's the largest palace in the city, now used as the office of the President of Malta. Here's where tourists come to take in views and snap some pictures. The fortification in the distance is the historic St. Andrew Bastion, formerly a part of the city's fortified walls. On the right, just across the water polo pitch, there is the Manuel Island and Fort Manuel, which was built to protect Valletta as well. The Lower Baracca Gardens is a small park featuring an ancient Greek temple, which serves as a memorial to Sir Alexander Bell. He was a beloved British admiral who helped the locals during the Maltese Rebellion against the French. The park is located on the bastions, overlooking the entrance to the Grand Harbor and offering picturesque views from the terrace, as well as some peace and quiet in the nicely decorated garden. Siege Bell War Memorial stands just below the Lower Baracca Gardens, in memory of the many people who fought and died for Malta during World War II. The rotunda with a heavy bronze bell was unveiled in 1992 by Queen Elizabeth II. The bell rings every day at noon over the Grand Harbor. One of Valletta's oldest churches is richly decorated with fine paintings and sculptures. It's named after St. Paul, the spiritual father of the Maltese. According to the New Testament, he shipwrecked here around 60 AD. This event is commemorated every year on the 10th of February with religious ceremonies and street festivities. Upper Baracca Gardens is a city park with walking paths and various memorials to important people from Malta. Originally, the park was created in the 17th century as private gardens for the Knights of Malta and only opened to the public in the 1820s. The park is located at the highest point of the former city walls, providing exceptional views of the Grand Harbor area from its top platform. You can also admire the three fortified cities of Birgu, Senglia, and Cospicua in the distance. The saluting battery is situated one level below the park. The guns were used for ceremonial purposes, but also for protecting Valletta from naval attacks, since the battery is located at the most strategic place of the Grand Harbor. During World War II, the guns were removed and deployed along the coast. As you can see and hear, they are still in operation today. Auberges were built in Malta by the Order of St. John during the 1500s as accommodation for knights coming from different areas around Europe, serving as today's hostels. Not all of them stood the test of time, but this fine Baroque building with ornate facade fortunately did, and it now houses the office of the Prime Minister of Malta. The bronze statue shows the 49th Grand Master of the Order of St. John, Jean de Valletta, who fought against the Turkish army during the Great Siege of Malta in 1565. A year later, he laid the foundation stone of the city and called it Valletta. We toured the old town and came back where we started, just outside the city gate. Here stands one of the most important modernist landmarks in Malta, the famous Triton Fountain. It shows 3 bronze figures of mythological tritons, Greek gods of the sea, holding up a platter. Let's visit one of the 3 fortified cities, Burgu, also known as the Victorious City. It lies on the south side of the Grand Harbor area, and back in the 16th century, it served as the base of the Order of St. John due to its safe anchorage conditions. We're on a rocky beach right below Fort St. Angelo. Originally built as a medieval castle, it was turned into a bastion fort by the Order of St. John, and then used as their headquarters during the Great Siege of Malta of 1565. We finish our visit to Burgu by a museum dedicated to Malta and World War II. Malta at War Museum is housed in former barracks and stores various war memorabilia. But let's head back to the center of Valletta before the sun sets. We find ourselves at the intersection of the Old Theatre Street and the Straight Street, an area well known for its restaurants and nightlife. Straight Street was often visited by American and British military back in the 19th century, and it is as lively today as it was back then. Your tour of Valletta finishes on St. Lucia Street. With a Roman Catholic church dedicated to St. Lucy in the background, this terrace part of St. Lucia Street is very popular with Instagrammers during the day. In the evening, it turns into a popular dining spot.